Hey guys, this is Zeke the Defender, and I'm going to be showing you how to use the AGF Game Factory Scene Loader. Pretty much, first all you got to do is open up Unity, make sure you've got a blank project. Then you can go to Assets, Import Package, Custom Package. Go to your AGF Game Factory install directory, and we'll have a few packages here. Look for the AGF Scene Loader, so I'll open that. This will open up. It might take a while, so I'm gonna pause the video till it's done. Alright, so that took about a minute. And then this window will open up. It'll show you everything inside the package. Some of it's stuff that, like materials that it will apply to certain objects. Some of it's code that's gonna help you import your scene. So press import. This will take a bit too, so I'll just pause that. Alright, so after that's done, you should have all this over here. This is anything that has to do with the scene loader, and these are just a few standard assets that you may or may not already have imported. There's a readme here if you need more help, and this file just shows the source directory that you're going to be importing files from. I'll show you more about that later. First you gotta do is open this scene. This should have a integration prefab here. That is what's going to load the scene, and then there's just this first person controller here for after your scene's loaded, so you can walk around in it. Then you can go to Window, AGF Scene Loader. If this isn't here, check down here if there's any errors. Let me know, or if you can't figure out how to fix those errors. Sometimes it could be because you have the wrong version of Unity, or maybe you already have the standard assets imported, or some of this code might be clashing with some code that you already have somewhere else. The best way to avoid that is probably to just create a new project, make sure all this was empty before importing anything. So yeah, then go to Window, as I said, AGF Scene Loader. That should open up this window here. You can select the installation folder. It should start out at your AGF Game Factory install directory. That'll go back to that if you use default or change to that. That should be where it goes, or should be your install directory. Otherwise you can just select it. So say I have a projects folder on my desktop. I could select that folder and it'll change the directory, so this is the folder that comes up each time. I'm not going to do that now. So I'm going to go back, import everything. So this is the integration prefab up here. If that's grayed out because I already have one. Otherwise, if I was to delete that, this button would clear off and I'd have to instantiate it again. Then you select a camera. Make sure there's at least one camera in your scene. So the first person controller should have a camera on it, which is the one I just selected here. And then you load your scene. This is weird. Okay. Alright. I should select a directory. So this will happen here if you don't have the correct directory selected. So I'm just going to select this. Now I'm going to load scene. Well, here, I'll just clear that. Load AGF scene. These are some of my projects. So projects, project name, and then scenes. If you're not sure what project or what scene this is, you can go to all files. And if you've got a image with them, you can zoom in to figure out what scene it is. I know I have one around here, one of these. I'll do this one. So that's going to take a little while here. I'll actually show you this. Okay. It'll instantiate all objects. If you want to keep going, or pretty much this is just telling you it's going to take a while. You can either cancel or start the process. So as you can see, it's got a few messages here. It created a resources folder here. That's if you've used the custom object warehouse in the constructor. So any sort of textures or normal maps or OBJ files will go into this folder here. You can see everything kind of popped up here. These are all the scenes, or sorry, objects in the scene. So then this is going to go through and take a look at each one of the objects, and it will create a folder over here eventually. Right. AGF source assets. So in that folder, it probably created a scene folder labeled 10, I believe. Well, at least for me, that's what I named my scene. It'll have whatever your scene name is. And then it'll have a few more folders with the objects, their models, and their textures. So as you can see, it's going through one by one, taking these. It's putting it underneath the parent object here, which is pretty much the scene object. So it's extracting those. This could take a while. So it'll tell you extracting which one it's doing. Also remember, it'll only extract the assets that are not locked. Alright, so it's done. You can see here pretty much everything that came in from the scene. And down here, oops, source assets 10, it's got the terrain, warehouse with textures, meshes, and materials. So the arrow, of course, is that. So you can use all these assets to make your own scene. You can just, drag in another arrow and put, not sure which, texture on there, and you got an arrow or whatever. Trees. Okay, and then as you see, some of these are pink. I did that on purpose. just to show you what to do if this ever happens to you. If you ever notice that, just let me know. I can go and fix that for the next update. Otherwise, that just means it's missing a shader. You can change a shader. Most of the time you can just go standard and it should fix it. But if you want a different shade or something special, like say it's tree leaves, you can see AGF vegetation wind effects. So that's better to have that one instead of standard, which would look a bit ugly. For the most part, you shouldn't have any pinkness, but I have had a few people let me know about that, and I can fix it right away. Don't know what that is. Random cube. Weird. Alright, hopefully that helped. Thanks.